What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to give my predictions for game week 7 in the Premier League. First game, Aston Villa against Brighton. I'm going with a 2-1 win for the home side. This was the final game for both these teams last season and Villa won it 2-1. Obviously they had more to play for than Brighton then, but I think here with Villa's insane home run they're currently on, I don't see them not winning this. Brighton do have a tricky run of games coming up, and I do think that they could get something here because obviously they've shown a lot of quality. They've won 5 out of 6 games so far this season. Away from home, this is a very, very tough game. Obviously, this is going to be a close game. It's two very good teams, but I just do see Aston Villa slightly edging it. Bournemouth against Arsenal. This is going to be a tight game for me. I'm going to go with a 2-1 Arsenal win, but both sides have a long list of injuries. So Bournemouth have been missing Scott and Adams for the whole season. Sinisterra's coming on loan and is starting to get back to fitness. Solanke might miss out on this game, and he's a really key player for him. And Arsenal have a really long list as well. They've got both their first choice left wingers in Trossard and Martinelli out. Saka also could miss out. Obviously Timber's injured for a long while, but Saliba also might not be fit for this game. Declan Rice might not be fit for this game, and Thomas Partey is also out. So that's 7 players, 7 key players that are going to be missing. They do have good replacements in the forward line. I think Smith Rowe and Nelson are 2 great players who need to be getting more minutes anyway. But at the back, it could be a bit troublesome. Even with all those Arsenal injuries, without Solanke being fit, I think it will be a very difficult game for Bournemouth to get something out of, because this is a team who will be in the title race. The replacements that Arsenal have are not bad. Although I think it'll be a tough game, I do still think they'll come out on top. Everton-Luton, both sides actually went unbeaten last weekend. And I think that Everton will win this 3-1 once again. I think Everton have been really, really good this season in terms of their performances, not necessarily the results, but they're now going to start to get them, I think. In 2 of their home games that they did lose against Wolves and Fulham, I thought they were really, really good, and they were really unlucky not to win because neither Calvert-Lewin or Beto were in the team. Obviously Beto hadn't been signed and Calvert-Lewin was injured. If Everton had won both those games, that's another 6 points, and they'd be on 10 points currently, and they'd be very close to the European spots. Obviously, they did lose those games, and they can't afford to lose another home game against another team who will likely be relegated. Luton have shown some decent performances, like in the last game I thought they were unlucky not to win. Against Fulham, I thought they were actually quite good as well. But I just think Everton are better. Manchester United against Crystal Palace. These 2 teams played just a few days ago in the Carabao Cup. Both sides rotated quite a lot, and Manchester United won 3-0. I think they'll win again, but I think it'll be 3-1. Both sides have injury concerns. Man United have lost Lisandro Martinez and Sergio Reguilon alongside Aaron Wan-Bissaka being out. Varane should be fit now, and Maguire I think is also back, although I mean they probably shouldn't be playing him. Mason Mount also made his first appearance since his injury earlier in the season. It's unlikely for Crystal Palace that Hudson-Odoi will be able to play any part in this game, and he's going to be a really big miss for him because he's already on 4 goals this season. He's looking really, really good. I think Eze will cause problems for the Manchester United defence, and I do think that they'll get a goal, but I don't think it'll be enough. Newcastle United against Burnley, I'm going with a 4-1 Newcastle win. I think this is probably the one I'm most confident about out of every game so far. They're very, very good, Newcastle. They showed that last week. They had a poor start to the season, but it looks like they're back to the Newcastle I really loved watching last season. And they also beat Manchester City in midweek in the Carabao Cup to hand in their first loss of the season. Both sides rotated really heavily for that as well, so I don't understand why people are discrediting that Newcastle result. Manchester City played a back 4 of Vardiol, Ake, Kanji and Lewis. And 3 of those 4 play nearly every week anyway, so they almost didn't even rotate their defence. Alvarez also played, and Grealish played as well for the first time since his injury. I know he's obviously not going to be 100%, but he was kept in the pocket of Tino Livramento, who also had a horrible injury last year and is now just coming back. And yes, Newcastle did play Pope, and they played Isak and their new signing Lewis Hall, who's still only 18 by the way. But they also played Lascelles and Dummett at the back, who are just not Premier League quality. I think we can all agree on that. And they kept a clean sheet against Julian Alvarez. Isak and Wilson are both doubts to start this game. Barnes is not going to play a part, unfortunately. I think he's going to be a really big miss for him. Hopefully he's back quicker than expected, because I think he's a really good player. But Gordon's in insane form, and I think he'll again just be really good in this game. Joelinton also made his comeback, and I know Tonali also played in the Carabao Cup game. They're going to need a few more goals from midfield. They definitely got that last week with an 8-0 win. And that's for Burnley. I think they're going to play right into Newcastle's hands because they like to control the ball. They're going to want to push up, and that will just leave so many holes for players like Gordon and Almiron to exploit. Burnley have had really poor results against the better side so far this season. I don't see that changing anytime soon, especially not in this game. And especially away from home, I don't think Burnley really have any chance here. West Ham against Sheffield United, I'm going to go with a 3-1 win to the Hammers. This will obviously mean another loss for Sheffield United. meaning that they've only got 1 point so far this season. But West Ham have started the season really well. I know they've had a little bit of a blip the last 2 games, but they're playing against Man City and then Liverpool away. You know, they're 2 difficult games. And even in those games, I had chances to get something. And against Sheffield United, who played really poorly last week, and I know I said that I don't think they'll be that poor in any other game this season, and I stand by that. I still wouldn't expect any problem here for West Ham. Wolverhampton Wanderers against Manchester City, I'm going with a 4-0 Man City win. Don't really think there's anything to say. Manchester City are the best team in the world. They've won 6 out of 6 so far. They've had a perfect record in the Premier League. And Doku is going to score 2 goals in this game. Tottenham against Liverpool is going to be a very, very good game between 2 teams who have started the season very, very well. But I think Tottenham win this comfortably. I'm going 5-2 to Tottenham. I did originally make that prediction with the assumption that Brennan Johnson was going to be in the team, and Ange Postecoglou has said that he is not going to play a part. So I could maybe see it being 3 or 4-2, but I do expect Tottenham to score a lot of goals because Son and Maddison should both be available for this game. Trent is also supposedly going to be fit for Liverpool, and although that will provide a good attacking threat for him because he can play really good balls against a Spurs side that are going to be playing quite high, I think defensively we can all agree he is awful. And Brennan Johnson would have cooked him if he was playing. Richarlison is not a bad player to put in for this game because he absolutely hates Liverpool, and you know he's going to be trying his heart out. And he's actually been looking quite good the last few weeks. He scored and assisted against Sheffield United in a massive, massive game for him. Like that, what a comeback that was, and he was the orchestrator of that. It's obviously good to see him doing better now because he talked about his mental health and stuff. He's going to go to a psychiatrist, and it's really good to see that it's working for him. Liverpool obviously will score goals because they have a very good attack. But defensively, I just do not trust them at all, and I think this Tottenham team can really pick them apart. Nottingham Forest against Brentford, I'm going with a 3-1 win for the side at home. Why did I make that so long? I don't know. It looks like Rico Henry might be Brentford's best player because against Everton last week, they were horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. And yes, Forest also lost, but they were playing against a very good Manchester City team. Even though they had 10 men, they're going to win because they're Man City. And going to City ground is always difficult for any team. You'd expect Brentford to be a bit better than they were against Everton because they were genuinely, and I know I already said this, but they were so bad, like so bad against a team they should have been beating. I said at the start of the season, I think Forest will finish in 12th. And I think that if they are to finish up there, they need to be winning their home games against other teams that will be in and around them. And I do believe that they'll do that. Then a West London derby on Monday night, Fulham against Chelsea. I'm actually going with a 1-0 win to Fulham. These 2 teams are separated by like a mile or something. They both share the same postcode, SW6. I think both teams have had their struggles this season. Chelsea can't score goals. They haven't scored in their last 3 Premier League games. Fulham can't really score goals either. Both sides have only scored 5 goals this season. Chelsea are now without their striker Nicholas Jackson after he has been suspended. Now Chelsea should not be having this issue at all because they've got Cole Palmer and Noni Madueke who are not getting anywhere near enough game time. So Pochettino is really bringing this on himself. Like, I don't know what he's doing. His team selection is so baffling, man. Enzo Fernandez is a 10. What are you doing? Move him back a bit. Bring in Cole Palmer. Bang, you've got a very good team there. You bring in Noni Madueke on the team, bang, it's an even better team. It's a very, very good team if you do that. But he's just an idiot, ain't he? I mean, I rate Poch as a manager, but like, I'm starting to rate him a lot less. I can't lie. Fulham have been alright defensively as well. Bernard has been very, very good this season. He's been, in my opinion, the best goalkeeper in the league so far. And although Chelsea's defence is also quite good, I just don't, I think that it will be a Fulham win. I think it could be 1-1. I think Chelsea could win it 2-1 if they were to start both Madueke and Palmer and move Enzo Fernandez a bit back. But I don't know if I trust Pochettino to do that, so I'm not going to. And with it being a much bigger game for Fulham than it is for Chelsea, you'd expect them to be much more up for it. And for that reason, I think they'll win. And the final game, Luton-Burnley, it's a double game week for them. This was meant to actually be played in the second week of the season. It would have been Luton's first home game. And if it was played then, I would have predicted a win for Luton, but it wasn't. So I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw. Luton will obviously now have a lot less momentum than they would have had if they had played that game when it was meant to be played. But at the same time, they have actually shown some signs over the last couple of games that they can win games. However, Burnley, I think will get a goal as well because I don't trust Luton's defence. I think there's definitely holes that you can exploit in it. Now, these 2 teams have played less than everyone else, obviously, because they missed this match. But they're the 2 lowest scorers so far this season. They don't really have a lot of goals in them. Yeah, I think 1-1 is a fair result. It could be 2-2 maybe because I think both defences are also quite open. I think this is a game that neither side can afford to lose. I think it'd be more detrimental to Luton if they were to lose this because they're the home side. But Burnley had aspirations to be higher up the table. And if they are going to do that, they should probably be winning something like this. Those are my predictions. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'll see you soon for another video.